So it's recorded. Okay, so basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a column names. So what do you need to know about a person? I actually like, okay, social security number. So that is a number. So we have to then define the kind of variable it is. So it's an integer. So then you just say int. That's just the keyword for it. Then comma, and then next column header. We're gonna do first name. And then since this is a word, keyword is varchar, which is just like variable character. And then you have to specify how many characters you can put within that field. So for, where should I say 50? No one's name is 50 letters long, but we'll say it is. And then we're gonna do last name, same thing, varchar 50. Then we'll do like gender, that's another word, so varchar, then I don't know, like 10, whatever. And then we're gonna do date of birth. So date of birth. And then this is just a date. So we'll just say date and it recognizes it as a date. And then the last thing we'll say is country of birth. And that's a word. So varchar and then 50. And then once you're done with your last column header, you just close it with another parenthesis to close the table. And then every command in Postgres, you end with a semicolon. So, and then you click enter. And then you'll see that you have created a table. Okay, so now that you've created a table, we can see what it looks like by clicking \D and then person. And this will just tell us like what it looks like. So we have our column names. As you can see, it tells us their character type, social security number, integer, and then character, and then all that stuff. So now that's literally just a blank Excel sheet at this point, but it's blank. So we need to like insert our data into it, right? So to insert data into it, just follow along. So you say insert into, and then you say the table name. So for us, it would be person. And then parenthesis, and then you just type in all of the column names that you're going to put data into. So for us, we'll just type in all of them. So social security number, first name, last name, gender, country, birth. Is that all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. And then close parenthesis. And then I'm just gonna move to the next line. And then you say values. So you insert into person, and then we're gonna say what values we want to put in, and you have to put them in the order that you put the column headers in. So for us, we're say values, and then social security number. Okay, so, and then you have to put them in single quotes. That's very important. Double quotes won't work, single quotes. And then comma, first name, insert yourself into the table or anyone you want. Okay, for the date of birth, since it's a date, you have to enter it year, month, day with slashes. So then country of birth, United States. And then you can close it with a parenthesis, semicolon, and then it will say insert, it'll say that you inserted it into. That's basically your like success command. Is everyone following along? Like, no problem. Should I slow down? Speed up? Is it good? Okay, cool. So now that you have that, in order to like, I'll teach you more about this later, but for now, just follow along. Say select all from person, semicolon, and you can see here that we have inserted one row of data into our table. So that would be yourself. Okay, any questions about that? How to insert data? So now I'm going to teach you how to drop tables. So dropping tables, it should be scary to you because once you drop a table, the data is gone forever. So most companies honestly do have security systems like against this, but I'm going to teach you how to do it because our table isn't important right now. So to do this, we literally just say drop table person, semicolon, enter, and you can see that the table has been dropped. Because if you select it again, nothing will show up. Okay, now we're going to create the table one more time, but this time we're going to do it with primary keys and not null values. I should explain like what those are really quick. So basically not null means that the value cannot be empty. So think of these as like your required fields on a form. Like whenever you're filling out a form and it's like, oh, your first name is required, like with like the little like red star thing, like that's basically a not null value. And then for primary keys, this is like crucial to anything, especially joining tables, which hopefully I'll get to later. Basically, it's a unique value within each table. So they cannot be a null value because each row like has to have a unique identifier. The way I like to think of this is like an Amazon shipping number. Like everyone has a unique number so that you can like track your shipping, right? Or even like Cal Poly student IDs. Like we each have a different student ID, and that's how they track us in their database. That's like our unique number because it is possible, it's highly unlikely, but it's possible that like there's like another Angela Keel who is like majoring in like business and like whatever. So yes, that's why you have to have a primary key in each table. And as you saw, like you can create it without it, like we just did, but it's bad practice, so don't do it. But let's create it one more time. Create table person. It's also just good practice to type this in a million times. So for us, actually, like our social security number, that's a primary key because we each have a different one, right? So it has to be unique. That's just like the main key to it. So social security number, and then you say that it is a integer, and then right after this, you say that it is not null, meaning that it has to be filled in. And then after this, you say primary key. And you can only have one primary key per table. And enter, and then we'll do first name. You need the underscore. 50, and then say not null. Last name. We'll do date of birth. We'll make that not null. Basically, all these fields are going to be required. And then I'll say country. Okay, and then you close it with parenthesis, semicolon, and did I spell something wrong? Country of birth. Sorry. Just delete that column. Person. Okay. I don't know what's what went wrong, but basically then your table will be created.
Wait, is it because you didn't specify like the character type or whatever?
I don't. Oh, okay. Did I not say varchar? Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay, sorry. Thanks. Yeah. So now that we have the table created, I'm just gonna show you like really quick, like how you cannot enter you can't insert values without inserting the not null ones, basically. So insert into person, social security number. Okay, we'll say like we'll skip first name and then like last name. What else do I have? Date of birth. values, security number, and then keel, then date of birth. Okay, so see how you got an error message because it says that I didn't put the first name in and it violates the not null constraint. So basically that just is demonstrating that you have to put values in not nulls because they're required fields. Okay, so now that we have that done, we're gonna just drop the table really quick and then I'm gonna have you just literally copy and paste. Okay, so drop table person. Okay, so the table is dropped and I'm gonna copy and paste a link into the chat.
I had a question, Angela. So if you don't specify the not null and you don't include it in your statement when you're inserting, what does it default to?
Oh, it just says null.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that. There's no error. How do I go to the chat? Okay, so everyone just go to this doc and then just Control A, Control C, and then just copy and paste the data into your shell or terminal. It's kind of fun to watch because we're not going to spend like 30 minutes typing this up. Actually, it'd probably take like an hour or two. So, okay, just so you guys know, like as this is all like uploading, normally you won't really be inserting the data manually like this. So this is the only way to insert data and it's a pain in the butt, right? So most of the time you'll already like have the data just given to you and you'll like, for example, like it'll be from like Salesforce, or like an Excel sheet or like something like the data is already there. You just need to be the one analyzing it. But it is important to know how it all works on the back end. So did that work for everyone? Yes. No? Okay. Cool. So now that we have the data in here, I'm going to just teach you how to select it and also how to like filter it. It's kind of cool. So the first thing is just this command, select all from person, semicolon. This literally selects every single piece of data from your table. Generally, it will limit it to like, I don't know, like 50 rows or something. And if you want to see all of them, keep clicking enter, but you can see here that we have a lot of column names and then the data is inserted just like we did up here. To get out of this, click \Q. \Q to get out of it. So that's just like what all of our data looks like. So we can also select just columns. So we can select, we'll select the first name from a person, and it will just show us all the first names, \Q to get out. We can also select like country of birth. And it'll show you all the countries of birth. But see how it lists like literally every single one, and it doesn't matter if like China's repeated like 50 times. So there's another cool command, which is select distinct, which will just show each country like once. It'll just show the distinct values instead of repeating values. So I'll show you that really quick. Select distinct country of birth from person. Okay, and then see here how you don't see any that are, yeah, my highlight's pink, just so you know, that just looks really pink. But yeah, so none of them are repeated. Like you only see China once. See, yeah, okay. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but select distinct is a very helpful command. Yes. Okay, so now kind of a cool part. So we're gonna learn where clauses, which are basically just like you're filtering, like how you like, it's kind of like the meat, I feel like, of like how you're gonna analyze your data. So in order to do this, we will say, just like, I'm trying to think of a good one to do. Okay, so we'll just say select super basic one. Select all from person where, capitalize it, it's not case sensitive, just so you know, where country of birth equals, we'll do China. And then when you enter that, you'll see that it has selected every single row where the country of birth equals China. So that's really helpful, \Q. So we can also do it with ors and ands. So select all from person where country of birth equals to it. Wow. We'll say like Italy or country. You do have to say the column name again. Country of birth is equal to, someone name a country. Wow, participation is really low. Okay, we'll say China, I guess. And then you can enter and you can see that we have China and then we also have like Italy mixed in. So that's how you do it with ors. We can also do it with select with and. So I'll show you that really quick. Select all from person where let's do like first name equal to, just choose someone from the list that you see. Callie's kind of a cool name. Where her first name is Callie, and command, and we'll say like country of birth, or actually, we'll say the word gender equal to female. Semicolon, enter, and you can see that it selected our Callie person. Yeah, so that's how you do ors, ands. Okay, I'll start you between now, and then I'll ask if you guys have any questions. So select all from person where, we'll do date of birth. Sorry, I have like all my notes written down. Where date of birth is between, you don't say is, you say between. And then you type in like 2 dates. So I don't know what's in our data. We'll do date of birth is between 2019 slash 01-01, and we use the and key right here, and we'll do 2020. Semicolon, and it will select all the people whose birthdays are between January 1st, 2019 and, okay, no one was born on January 1st, 2020, but you can see that these are all the people in 2019, basically. So that's how you use between. Yes. And then I'm going to teach you in really quick. So we'll say select all from person where, this is just like a helpful way of doing basically multiple ands. This way you can just say in and then like list the way. So country of birth, sorry, select all from person where, say country birth, and then you say in parenthesis and then single quotes. I'm sure to read off this. We'll do Greece, comma, Egypt, comma, and then we'll do like Brazil. And then close parentheses, semicolon, and we can see that we have selected all the people that are from Brazil, Egypt, or Greece. Oh, quick note here, you can see that it's organizing them by like the number ID because that's like the order that we put them in. that we insert them into the table. And I'll teach you how to order things pretty soon. Okay, so let's use in, and then there's another really helpful command called like. There's multiple different types of likes. So for this, you can do select all. By the way, I'm doing select all, but you can also just do like select like first name, select last name, select email, like any column name. I just like seeing all the data, so that's why I'm doing it. Select all from person, where we'll do like our first name and use the command like, and then single quotes, and then you can use, you say like whatever like characters you want the word, or like what you're looking for basically. So in this case, I want like everyone whose name starts with an A. So I should do A, and then you should put the mod symbol or mod %, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And that basically means that it'll just start with an A, and it doesn't matter which characters are after that. And then you just click that, and then you see that we have selected all the people whose first names are or start with an A. Q. And then we're gonna do it with, you can do the same thing for like the last letter being an A or like whatever. So select all from person where first name like, and then you could do the mod symbol A, and you see that all of their names end with an A. Okay. Okay. And then we could also do it with like any name containing an A. So that would just be like the two mod symbols on either side. So select all from person where first name so this will return anything that has an A in it. So yeah, all these names have an A in it. It's probably a lot of names. Okay, are there any questions so far?
I had a question about the between, I guess, operator. Is it inclusive or exclusive when you put in the two?
It's
criteria?
inclusive.
Inclusive, okay.
Yeah. Well, okay, so now I'm gonna teach you, okay, really quick. I just like think this is a cool command, so I'm gonna show you it. If we say like select now, parentheses, semicolon, it selects, it tells you the time now. So that's kind of a fun command. Well, okay, so now
I have a quick question. When you order, can you order it by like first name and date of birth at the same time, or would you have to do it separately?
Could you order by first name and date of birth?
Yeah.
No, because they like conflict. I'm gonna get into ordering like right after I do group by, so I'll explain that more. But like you can't, if you're doing by, because it's like one row, right? So you can't really have like you can only order by one.
Oh yeah. Okay, I get it.
First name ascending or descending, because you can't assign a different date of birth to someone. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Okay. So now I'm going to teach you just group by really quick. This is like one of those things that are just, it's weird. But so basically the group by, I'm just going to read off this. So the group by statement is used to arrange just identical data into groups with the help of like some functions. So if a particular column has like the same values in different rows, then it will arrange these rows into a group. So like we can see that many people were born in like Russia and China and like all those. So it will group by like all of the countries of birth. Whatever. The thing about this is like you can only group by like you can't use aggregates in it. And I'll show you how to get around that. But important points, group by is used within the select, but it's also used before the order by. So it's like the second to last thing in your query. Yeah, okay, I'll show you how to use it, and then it'll make more sense once you use it. So you say select all from, we'll say select country of birth. Say select country of birth, and then just to demonstrate the point, we're going to use this command called count. say count and then star, which is, sorry, where's the star? Which basically what it does is it's gonna count the number of people within each country, and then it will display that. So then you say count. I'm just gonna go down a line so it's more digestible. Count all from a person, and then we're going to group by country of birth. Okay, so now you can see here that we have, it's just all listed, like the number of people who, 104 people in Indonesia. We see there's like 20 Ukraine, like that's basically what it does. It just groups it into like more digestible like forms, I guess you could say. But yeah. And then the thing about group by is like if you want to get a certain amount, that's like, okay, I want it greater than like, if I wanted the count greater than like 20 or something, you can't do that. It like gives you an error. So there's this other keyword called having, which basically means that you can have like aggregates in it. So I'll teach you that. Select, we'll do country of birth. Yeah, country of birth, cannot spell. Person where, sorry, we'll have to count them too. Select country of birth, sorry. Count all from person. Oh, okay. And then this is where you use like the having. Yeah. Okay, actually use group by, group from person. By, okay, oh, by the way, when you're doing it, you can use either the index number of the column or you can do like the column name. So like the index starts at 1. So for example, in our table, the one that we inserted right now, like the ID would be column 1. So you can say like group by 1 or you can say group by ID, but in this case, we'll do country of birth. So my country of birth, and then you say having like count greater than, do any number here, but I'm just gonna do having count greater than 10. And then it will show you all of the countries that have more than 10 people. You could also use less than, you can use equal to, you can use not equal to, yeah, pretty much whatever your heart desires. Yeah, so that's how having works. Are there any questions on that? Group by, or I can go into order by. No questions? Okay, cool. So now we're just gonna do ordering. Basically, it's pretty simple, but you can order just by ascending or descending. So we'll just select all from person. Then we can just order by, we'll do first name. Ascending. So ascending is ASC and then descending is just DESC. Okay, and then as you can see here, we have it in or by first name, and then you can also do the same thing the other way around. So select from person, order by first name, descending. And as you can see, it starts with Z. Okay, any questions on order by?
So are you able to like order by let's say like order by gender and then they put into female and then male and then like order by date of birth after that?
Yes, you can. You can do that.
How would you do that?
Person, order by, I'm used to using the numbers. You can order by gender. I think you should use comma. Honestly, if I'm wrong, just look it up. It'll be there. But yeah. So you see female, and then the date of birth, 15th, 16th, 17th. Yeah, that's how you do it. So Miriam, your question, you can do that. Just you can't, like, it only works with certain, like, ones, I guess.
Yeah, I was thinking about like if you did first name starting with A and then sorted by like date of birth. So
Okay.
that's where I was kind of going with.
Sorry, I was like, okay, I was like, you can't switch the date of birth. Sorry, but yes, you can.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no. Okay, so that's how you use order by, and then I'm just gonna get into aggregates. I'm like running out of time. This is like super simple, so it's like any other coding language. Say select like 10 plus 2, and that will return 12. Well, it can do math. Select 10 minus 2 returns 8. Select 10 times 2, 20. Select 2, and then for the, we'll do to the power, you just do double stars, and then to the second power, and our, whoa. Okay, never mind. That's weird. Normally it does work. Okay, it depends. That's weird. Normally power does work like that. I'm sorry. I don't know why it didn't work. But okay, so after like you can add, subtract, multiply. You can also do sum, count, min, max, average. So I'll show you this really quick using our data. So we can select the sum of, clearly you have to use a number for this. So we'll have to use our ID, which might be a big number, but we'll select the sum of our ID from a person. And this is the sum of all of our IDs. You can also do select the max RID, and this will return just like the last person's ID from person. And yeah, so we inserted 1,000 rows of data, so the max ID would be 1,000, and then select the min ID from person, and that will return 1. Yeah, and then we can also do the average, so that will be like, but average is just AVG ID from person. Yeah, see, that's the average. So min, max, okay, and then we can use the, I already used it earlier, but the count literally just counts. You use this for qualitative variables, basically, because you can't add like names together. So this will like count like the number of names, basically. So you could do select count of, you can literally do anything. It's literally country of birth, person, and yeah, it tells us, okay, yeah. The weird thing about this is that we didn't select the distinct, so it's gonna return every single value, even if it's repeated. So if we wanna do like select distinct count country of from person. What the flip? Okay. Sorry, I don't know what we're wrong there, but by the way, literally, if you have a problem, just Google it, and Google will tell you what's wrong. Another thing that I'll try to rush through, there's like comparisons. This is like super basic too, but it's kind of like good to know, I guess. You can just select, it just returns like true or false. So select like 2, and then 3, and that's false. So it will return an F. And then if we want to do it the other way, 2 less than 3, that's true. So it will say true. If you want to say like select if like 1 is equal to 1, return true. If we did select 1 equal to 2, that'll return false. Pretty self-explanatory, but are there any questions on that?
Yeah, is there a way you can filter the data set by like a specific value and then from there use one of the like the functions like sum or max or average for that filtered data?
Yeah, so you just you'd select, so that you do select like sum of, or I can only do ID because that's what's in our table, but like sum of ID from person where, and then you can use the where clause. So you can do anything with that. So like where ID is like greater than 5. I don't know. Well, that's gonna do a lot. Like where ID is less than like 50. Say that. And then it'll sum all of that. Yeah. So that's how you filter it in using sum and average. And you can like select multiple things, by the way. You don't have to just do one. So you can do like select like sum of ID. And you can also do comma like average of ID if you want to see them like all together, and then min ID. And then I'll show you some average min. Yeah, so kind of cool. And so now I'm going to teach you how to update, and are there any other questions on this?
What if you're trying to filter from like a specific, say, country of birth? How would you do that?
You just do where country of birth equals whatever country.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Asking? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to like update and delete records. Okay, that's like the last thing, and then like joining tables. So to update and delete records, it's like you always want to use the where clause so that you don't update or delete everything. So for example, if we did delete from person semicolon and clicked do not click enter and clicked enter, it would literally delete every single row. It would leave, we're not dropping the table, so it wouldn't, so it would leave the column header, column names, but that would delete every single row. So don't do that. Same with update. If you say update person, and then say to update people, you say update person, and then you say set like first name equal to like, I don't know, choose a name, like Alessia. This will literally update every single first name to Alessia, and that's not what we want. So we always want to use the where clause. So update person set first name equal to Alessia, where like ID is equal to 1. And then it will say that it has updated that 1. And then if we select all from person where ID is equal to 1, you can see that the first name was changed to Alessia. So that's how you just update and delete, or I'll show you delete one in depth. Delete from person like where ID is equal to 1. So you can see that it was deleted, and now if we select like all from person, you see that it starts with number 2 since we deleted the first record. That's how you delete and update. Okay, it's like 12 o'clock, but I was gonna go into joining tables if anyone's interested. Yeah.
I think we might have to end it there.
Okay.
But yeah, it was super in depth, so thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I went like really fast. But
If anyone has any like other questions, you can ask now. Otherwise, we'll end the meeting. All right. Yeah, if no one has any other questions, thank you guys so much for coming. Next week will be our last meeting where we will be going into depth on Excel and the stuff you can do with that. And yeah, hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
so
you,
much,
Angela.
Angela.
no problem.
And real
Angela.
quick, we'll be sending out a recording of like today's workshop. So if you